So before, and I know some of you are leaving, thank you for those of you who've been hanging in here. Before we end the night, I believe that a couple of you made a good point. It's about advocacy, about what it is that we can actually do. You know, what it is that each and every one of you can do to exert your voice, to be heard, to truly exercise your power of choice, because you have choices as parents. And so I want to call up one of our supporters for our community committee, one of our board members, very active here in our community of Newark, Rahman, Karriem, to give us some words and to really talk to you about what it is that you can do to exercise your power of choice.
Thanks, Tia. And you've been so patient. I'll try to make them very brief, but I have to tell you, it's so inspiring to hear some of the comments and some of the emotion that you have, and it's very clear how important this is to all of you. And it's fixed, Tia, right with all the kind of things that we've been thinking about with the community committee. So just to give you a little background, I'm born and raised here in Newark. I'm really happy to have been working with Team Academy for the last few years. But the opportunity now to serve on the community committee is really the most energizing piece of being part of Team Academy for me. And I think the reason is because, as you all know, the choice, and Myla just talked about, the choice you have as parents to really be an advocate for your kid, and in many cases has had a direct impact on their success so far. So that choice that you have directly correlates to your children's success. However, the voice you have can also correlate not only to their school success, but to our community success. And that community really is much broader than just Team. It's the community of all of our kids. Because if we really do have strong communities and we can make that connection, then the schools will be a byproduct of our communities and all of our kids will be successful. So here's how we're going to do this, because we actually have a plan. And the plan is we're going to take a script right away from our president, who just, whether you're a supporter of Obama or not, one of the things that is very clear, that he gave a voice to a people that hadn't been involved in government before. He gave an opportunity for people to speak up and be counted who hadn't been counted before. And we think right here in this city, now that we see so much progress with our education, why not have that same kind of growth happen right here in this city, where we can give a voice and be counted for all of the parents and all of the community organizations that want to be a part of something different, want to be a part of a community that supports strong schools, all the schools. So when Shavar said we need to have a parent union, that is exactly what we're talking about. Creating a community that cares about their kids. Now, I know you've heard that before, but the analogy that I like to point out in terms of our direction is that many of you who've been on boards before know that whenever you go to the investment community, they always ask you, well, how many of your board is actively participating in your event? How many of your board is actively involved? And that is the way the boards actually demonstrate they have the commitment so that they get investment and they get funders who support them. Think about the tremendous power we will have if a city of Newark, with all of our reputation, can demonstrate that we have strong community support, that we have schools where 80, 90, 100% of our parents are actively involved in supporting their kids. We think that's going to be the foundation so that when we need resources for our kids in the city of Newark, we can make it happen. So the way we want, I'm going to really wrap up because I know it's getting a little late. So this notion of a parent union, we're working on it. And we want all of you to come out on March 25th because we'll show you step by step the kind of committees and the kind of actions we're going to take so that you can actively be involved. And we firmly believe that just like KIPP has demonstrated in Newark, you can have a world-class education. We think our community efforts can show in Newark you can have a level of engagement of parents and community organizations that far surpasses anything else, and that makes people want to invest in your kids. And that's how we're going to pay for the education for our kids.